In a startling turn of events, Russia has dispatched 6 formidable warships to the shores of Israel, sending shockwaves through the international community. This unexpected move has sparked intense speculation, geopolitical discussions, and concerns about the repercussions it may have on the already volatile Middle East. The decision to send naval forces to the region, ostensibly in support of Palestine, has brought renewed attention to the enduring conflict in the Holy Land, while also raising questions about Russia's motivations and long-term objectives. The Middle East, a region steeped in history, has been a hotbed of conflict and tension for decades. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict, at its core, revolves around territorial disputes, political differences, and historical grievances. Over the years, various nations and international organizations have tried to broker peace agreements and facilitate negotiations, often with limited success. Russia's sudden military deployment to Israel adds another layer of complexity to an already intricate geopolitical puzzle. Russia's decision to send 6 warships to the eastern Mediterranean has been met with a mixture of surprise and concern among global leaders. The Naval Task Force, led by the formidable Admiral Kuznetsov aircraft carrier, consists of several warships equipped with advanced weaponry, including guided missile cruisers and destroyers. This show of force is unlike anything seen in the region for years, and has raised eyebrows not only in Israel, but also in neighboring countries and beyond. To understand the implications of Russia's move and its significance in the broader context of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, we must delve into the historical, political, and strategic factors that have led to this unexpected development. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict traces its roots back to the late 19th century, when Zionist movements began advocating for the establishment of a Jewish homeland in Palestine. This aspiration eventually led to the creation of the State of Israel in 1948, a move that was fiercely opposed by the Arab states and the Palestinian population, who saw it as a usurpation of their land. The subsequent decades witnessed multiple wars and conflicts, with Israel emerging as a regional military power. The Palestinians, meanwhile, struggled for recognition and statehood. The situation has remained in a state of constant flux, with numerous peace initiatives and negotiations yielding limited results. Russia's involvement in the region can be traced back to the Soviet era, when it supported various Arab nations against Israel. However, the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991 led to a period of relative disengagement from the Middle East. It wasn't until the 21st century that Russia, under President Vladimir Putin, reasserted itself as a key player in the region. Putin's Russia has been assertive in pursuing its strategic interests on the global stage, and the Middle East is no exception. Over the past decade, Russia has significantly increased its involvement in the region, particularly in Syria. Its military intervention in Syria in 2015 not only bolstered the Assad regime, but also established Russia as a major player in the Middle East. The Syrian experience allowed Russia to forge close alliances with key regional actors, including Iran and Turkey, while maintaining diplomatic ties with Israel. This delicate balancing act served Russia well, allowing it to influence regional developments and assert itself as a mediator in conflicts such as the Syrian civil war. Russia's sudden deployment of warships to Israel coincides with a renewed bout of violence in the Gaza Strip. The region has witnessed a fresh wave of conflict, with clashes between Israeli forces and Palestinian militants leading to civilian casualties and heightened tensions. The situation has drawn international condemnation and calls for a ceasefire. In response to the crisis, Russia's Ministry of Foreign Affairs issued a statement expressing concern over the escalation of violence and loss of life in Gaza. The statement called for an immediate ceasefire and stressed the need for a comprehensive political solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Russia's naval deployment to Israel can be seen as a direct response to the Gaza crisis, signaling its intent to play a more active role in the region's affairs. By sending a powerful naval task force, Russia is attempting to position itself as a potential mediator and a force for stability in a region marred by conflict. Russia's move is also influenced by its complex relationships with key regional players. Israel, for instance, has maintained a delicate balance in its relations with Russia, the United States, and other regional powers. It has been able to cooperate with Russia on issues like military coordination in Syria, while maintaining strong ties with the US. Iran, on the other hand, has a significant influence on Palestinian militant groups such as Hamas. Russia has cultivated a strategic partnership with Iran in recent years, which gives it a certain level of leverage over these groups. By deploying warships to Israel, Russia may be attempting to exert pressure on Iran to use its influence to calm the situation in Gaza. Turkey, another regional player, has also become a key partner for Russia in various aspects, including energy cooperation and regional diplomacy. Turkey's involvement in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, though different from Russia's, is significant. Russia's actions could be seen as an attempt to encourage Turkey, which has expressed concern over the Gaza crisis, to engage in diplomatic efforts for a resolution. The international response to Russia's naval deployment has been a mix of concern and cautious diplomacy. The United States, while acknowledging Russia's right to move its military assets, has expressed its desire for a peaceful resolution to the conflict in Gaza. The U.S. State Department released a statement calling for an immediate ceasefire and urging all parties to return to the negotiating table. European leaders have also voiced their concerns, with some calling for Russia to use its influence to de-escalate the situation. The European Union has been actively engaged in diplomatic efforts to address the crisis and has offered its support for a peaceful resolution. The United Nations, through Secretary General Antonio Guterres, has called for an immediate end to the violence and emphasized the need for a two-state solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The UN Security Council has convened emergency meetings to address the situation, and international pressure for a ceasefire continues to mount. Russia's decision to send warships to Israel raises several questions about its objectives and potential challenges. While the official statement cites support for a peaceful resolution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, the exact nature of Russia's involvement remains uncertain. One possible objective for Russia is to position itself as a diplomatic mediator in the conflict, leveraging its relationships with various regional actors. By demonstrating military presence, Russia may seek to strengthen its hand in any future negotiations and exert influence over the direction of peace talks. However, this approach carries significant risks. Russia must tread carefully to avoid inadvertently exacerbating tensions or escalating the conflict. The presence of warships in the Mediterranean increases the potential for military incidents, which could further destabilize the region. Additionally, Russia's involvement may complicate its relationships with other key players in the Middle East, such as Israel and the United States. Israel, in particular, may view Russia's move with suspicion, fearing that it could tilt the balance of power in the region and undermine its strategic interests. The outcome of Russia's naval deployment to Israel is uncertain and depends on various factors, including the willingness of all parties to engage in diplomacy, the evolving situation on the ground, and the international community's efforts to mediate. Russia's decision to send 6 warships to Israel in support of Palestine is a surprising and complex development in an already volatile region. It underscores Russia's growing assertiveness in the Middle East and its desire to play a more prominent role in regional affairs. While Russia's official stance emphasizes support for a peaceful resolution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, the exact nature of its involvement remains uncertain. The deployment of warships raises questions about Russia's objectives, its potential to mediate in the conflict, and the risks associated with its presence. The international community, including the United States, the European Union, and the United Nations, has called for an immediate ceasefire and a return to negotiations. The outcome of Russia's involvement will depend on its ability to navigate the complex dynamics of the region, its relationships with key players, and its commitment to a peaceful resolution. In the end, the situation in the Middle East remains highly fluid, and the world watches with bated breath as Russia's warships cast a shadow over the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, hoping for a resolution that brings lasting peace to a troubled region. Thank you for sticking with me all the way to the end. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure the notification bell is turned on so you don't miss a video.